Hey yo guys, what's good, what's happening, and what's going on? So on yesterday's video, I talked about how a comment was posted on my channel about the point, Cherry Point, basically where I went fishing so many times and filmed so many fishing videos at. Apparently I won't be able to fish there anymore. I don't think the individual responded to the comment, but I asked him in the comment section, what are you talking about? And I'm just gonna go check right now to see. I got a comment on a video from 2011, my second vlog, or day 11. Somebody's asking me if the G6 has the 2.4 or the 3.5 liter, but I don't know how they found that video. Anyway, yeah, he didn't really mention much. I'm like, the point is gone. He said, yeah, one big open field now. I'm guessing housing of sorts. So we're gonna take a trip down to the point today. I got martial arts at I gotta leave at 5:30 to be there for 6. It's currently 5:15, and then yeah, go from there. Now today, while I was working, son of a bitch, I'm literally sitting right here. I had this window open pretty much to there, so I'm sitting here, and if I turn over, I can pretty much see right out into my driveway at this angle, clear as day. So I'm sitting here, I'm working away, and all of a sudden something catches my eye, and I look down, and it's a guy in a yellow reflective vest, and I'm like, oh shit. And I look down the driveway, and there's a Canada Post van in the driveway. So I yell out the window, hey bud, I'm home. Like, did you leave the packages? And he's like, the slip's in your mailbox. I'm like, okay, did you leave the packages? He goes, I only brought the slips. Okay, Canada Post, you keep going on strike because you want more money, yet you just put slips in my mailbox. You do realize that that job could easily be done through electronic email, right? This is something I bring up at work all the time, is people who have cushy jobs that could easily be replaced with a script. And the thing is I actually did it to one job. A guy at work, his job was literally to monitor tickets that have been on hold for 5 days with no customers calling back in, and all he would do is close the ticket with client hasn't called back in 5 days, resolving ticket. If you still need assistance, call the help desk, they'll open a new ticket. Well, this guy ended up going on leave for 6 months due to an operation, and when he went on leave, they're like, they basically had me doing my job and that job. So I was like, I got a better solution. Within the ticketing system, you can write scripts. They're pretty much like Python scripts. The way they code. I gotta bring my garbage out to the garage. With the way they code, it's pretty much like Python, so you can instruct the system using its basic, like it's different handles within the ticketing system. Like you can write a script to, if it's a certain company, to filter all the tickets from that company into a report and then make it a comma separated value. You know, you can do a bunch of stuff through the enterprise, I don't even know what it's called, the enterprise script management system. I'm not even sure what the coding language is. It's pretty proprietary to the actual system, but the syntax reminds me so much of Python that it's unbelievable. It was probably stolen from Python. Anyhoozle. Yeah, my phone said there was no garbage pickup today, and sure enough, garbage truck came by, but I only had the one bag of trash because I don't produce enough garbage throughout the week. I can go 3 weeks without putting my garbage out. It's pretty bad because all my meat comes in recyclable containers. But anyway, while I'm doing his job and my job, while we're waiting for him to come back, I decided to write a script that literally did what he used to do. That literally replaced his job. And the script runs every day, or every 10 minutes, and it checks to see the date of all tickets in the pending state, which you'd think would just destroy processing power. But it's actually really efficient, and it finds all tickets that are 5 days old as of the time, because when you put a ticket on hold, you put it on hold for 5 days to the time that you've put the ticket on hold. So if it's like 2:43 and you're putting the ticket on hold on a Monday, well then on the following Monday, because we actually go for a full week, on the following Monday at 2:43 p.m., if the client never got back, the ticket resolves itself. Wrote that script, started running it. I basically, from time to time, would monitor to make sure there was no tickets pending longer than 5 days. The script was doing exactly what it was supposed to. I replaced a job with a shell script. And this is the reason why everybody's all afraid of AI taking their jobs. if you don't show pride in your work and you don't try to do the best you can, then you will get replaced with a script if they can find one that'll do the job more efficiently and bitch less. Just saying. Like, in AI's current state, I don't see it taking my job because I work on a lot of programs that are in-house brewed, if you will. They're not, it's like, we do use stuff like Microsoft Office, which I have to help with. We do use some older legacy programs that we shouldn't be using because they were end of life when Windows 7 was end of life. So yeah, that's a thing. But there's a lot of software that for AI to know how to troubleshoot it, it would first have to know what it is and how it works. And there's a lot of finicky bullshit we had to do to get some of this old software to work in a Windows 11 environment because it just friggin' wouldn't. But people who have jobs where literally it's a process where, you know, every time you do an action, like let's say your job is to create an account. So you have to first create the Active Directory account so that they have access to the local shares. Then you got to migrate it to Azure. Then you got to create the Office 365 account for it. Then you got to do the replication. And then once it's all said and done, then you activate the account, replicate one more time, and then you assign a password and send it. That can all be done through automation, not even AI. Just automation. AI is just this fancy new term they use for automation. AI would think for itself, where automation, it just runs through the process, and if it fails, then it fails and waits for user interaction. AI, if it fails, it would try to diagnose it based off the knowledge it has and try different methods to resolve it. I don't think AI is there yet to be doing remoting into computers and fixing problems. The best it can do is instruct an end user on how to remediate the problem. But if the end user is not computer savvy, there's two things that are going to happen. Number one, they're going to try what AI said, mess up heavily because they clicked on something they shouldn't have. They jumped ahead, didn't read a thing that AI said, or whatever the case may be, and then really frig things up. Or B, because they're not computer savvy and they're scared of it, they're not going to do anything. And those are the people I like. The ones that don't just jump on Google, look up the problem, try and fix it, brick their system. Now it's my problem. I don't like those people because that just creates more work that shouldn't have been there if they would have just called in and let us fix it because we're the subject matter experts on the product and they're just the end user. Now, some of them understand how the product works better than us, which is great when you get those people because they will explain things and then it jogs something in your brain and you goes, oh, well, if that's how it's working, then it's probably because of this. And sure enough, it is. It's something completely different. Like, oh, it's supposed to go to this drive and grab this file. And then you look into the settings and it's pointing to a map drive of J, but they have the drive mapped as Z, so because it's actually physically pointing to J:/files/stuff, but they have it as Z:/files/stuff, the program just shits the bed and doesn't know where to look and then throws some mundane error message like exception occurred, fatal exception, 0x800CCC456 or some friggin' nonsense like that. And you're like, what does that even mean? Who wrote this and why didn't they set up proper error handles? Like, Jesus Murphy, guys, pull up. But yeah, but no, I'm not too worried about my job yet because we're still heavily needed. But I'd be worried about working in manufacturing because robotics is moving ahead. Like when Dad was in his final years of working at the machine shop, tooling bits for exploration, basically what he was doing was he was tapping rods that would go onto giant drilling rigs and they would drill into the ground and get core samples. So they can basically go to an area of untapped land and then start drilling down to see if they're hitting any gold or any minerals or whatever. And then when they found it, it would all come up through the actual rod itself, whatever. That's what he was doing. But in the last couple of years, they went from like 15 machinists, everybody running their own CNC, to 5 machinists, where it was one guy running a CNC and then monitoring 2 robots that were running CNCs. So you would just keep an eye on friggin' R2-D2 and C-3PO back there that were tooling rods while you ran your CNC, and then if R2 or C-3PO shit the bed, you go over and run a diagnostic on the code, reset them, and get them back up and running. I would be worried being in that environment, like automotive people who work in car plants, because a lot of those assembly lines are getting better and better as time goes on, and soon they won't need people there. They won't have to pay Joe Schmo 32 bucks an hour or whatever it is to work on a manufacturing line alongside Bill and Jacob and Frank and Michael to all of them spin bolts on stuff, or to draw a welded bead, or whatever the case may be. It's going to be all automated, and those people won't have jobs. And that's literally what's going to happen with the mail system if Canada Post keeps frigging around. Like, there's no reason why he was driving the big mail truck. There's no reason why my packages couldn't have been on there, but he was like, no, I left your, and not just a slip, 2 slips. Why did they double ship? Did I have to pay shipping on one? I don't freaking know. I don't freaking know. Okay, where the frig is my pocket? I'm gonna wear a jacket. I wasn't gonna, but I'm gonna. I really don't need to wear a jacket right now, but I figure, frig it. We're gonna go and inspect the point tonight and see what the frig is really going on down there. Because if our hutch is saying that it's all zoned out, I think that land was actually owned by one of the MPs here in town. I forgot I can do this with this camera, that I can actually tilt the lens and you can just like aim it around and stuff. It's pretty sweet. You can aim it up and down. The things you find out about a camera that you've been filming with forever, eh? Oh, almost threw up. All right, fire in the hole. Yeah, it's freaking warm out today, but if we're gonna go exploring after martial arts, probably not too long, because I'm thinking of going to the post office tonight and trying to get my shit so that tomorrow, when we're on Friday's slow day, maybe, just maybe, I can get that damn computer all built. Tomorrow night do a live stream, because that'd be pretty sweet. But yeah, it's like 20 degrees Celsius out. This is what's frigged. On Monday, it was -10. This is what I'm talking about with winter. Guys, this weekend, DB might come out of the garage. I'm just saying. Like, we are calling for some bullshit weather this weekend. It's supposed to rain on Saturday, which is why I'm happy that I got that shit all killed around the back of the garage. Well, for now. Still got to get out there and lay down the borax, finalize it. But yeah, once that's all said and done, then look at this guy on a bike. That looks fun. One of the guys at Martial Arts, Derek, he got his motorcycle license last year, and he keeps bugging me every time in martial arts. Oh man, college is going to be having their M2. College is going to be having their M2. Hey, you should get a bike. You should get a bike. Oh, hey, bud. I got a motorcycle. The problem is I got nowhere to frickin' put it in the winter. I can't bring it in the house. Well, I could. It's my house. I can do whatever the frig I want. What am I going to do? Leave a motorcycle in my kitchen? Like, with DB in the garage, I got no room for anything anywhere. Like, which is one of the reasons why I'd love to have like a barn-style shed in the backyard. Because theoretically, if I had that shed, I could tuck the snowblower back there in the winter, all year round pretty much. Put the lawnmower back there, run power like Dad did for his shed from the garage into there, and have an outlet set up for the Ryobi power station to keep the lawnmower batteries charged and on and in there, and run some other things, or just go crazy, buy a solar battery and run it off grid. But I don't know, I was looking at some of those sheds, man, and frig sakes, they're like little mini homes now. You can buy some that have like a balcony and a freaking loft area for sleeping and stuff. I was like, holy shit. And they're not that bad of a price either. Like, you can scoop one of them up for like $5-6 grand. But the problem is I can't just sit it on the lawn. It'll sink, it'll warp, it'll rot. I'd have to sit it on some sort of a foundation, either a corner post foundation, or I guess I could sink some sonotube and put some 6x6s in the ground and then frame it and build a floating platform. Or not even use sonotube, just sink some pillars into the ground and pack it tight and go from there. I think my first goal in this weekend is to grab a shovel and start digging up my front yard and trying to find my water spigot and see how deep it went, and then do that test Dad said and find out if it is leaking, because like I said, water pressure in the house is no bueno. It was pretty bad last year, and actually it wasn't that bad. It was noticeable last year, and then it got really noticeable this year. Like winter, I was like, what the frick is going on? Why am I losing all this water? And I'm not paying extra, like we're on pay-per-use water, pay by the meter cubed. So I'm not paying any extra money on my water meter, so, and I know it's not leaking in the house, because if it was leaking in the house, my furnace wouldn't be firing up because it would be underwater. That crawl space would be a frickin' swimming pool. Then I'd have some real problems. So that's not the case there. So we're not losing water there. We're losing it outside, and it's eroding the earth. Such a beautiful day today. Everybody's out riding their motorcycles. I can hear some sort of a hog type, Harley or whatever, in front of this blue Subaru, just farting and burping away. So yeah, like I said, as for fishing goes, guys, if the point is gone, not a big deal. We still have a bunch of other spots we can go to throw, and we still have the kayak, we still have the boat. Now that I realize that I'm an idiot and I don't know how to prime a bulb for a boat, guys, there's nothing wrong with the engine. There's nothing wrong with the engine. I didn't realize that you're supposed to squeeze that. I was treating it like a lawnmower. You know, on a lawnmower, when you go to prime it, you prime it like 3 times and pull the cord. That's literally what I did with the boat. I just primed the bulb 3 times and then went to pull it, and there was nothing. And I'm like, why? Why won't you start? What's wrong with you? Why come broken? It wasn't broken. I just don't know what the frig I'm doing because I never owned a boat before. So sure enough, I asked my neighbor, I'm like, this is last year, and I should have filmed it too when it ran, but I was just wanting to do it and get it over with because it was about to rain. So yeah, after I got to come back to this drugstore on my left and pick up that package if it's there. But no, I asked him, I said, hey, how bad is it to run a boat motor out of the water? He goes, what are you talking about? And I'm like, right now, if I were to start that boat motor where it's sitting and not submerge it in a garbage can of water, because that's all I have, how much damage will I do? And he goes, well, if you only run it for a couple seconds, it won't be that big of a deal. He goes, don't run it and like rev it and stuff. He's like, just start it up and then shut it down. He goes, because the water's your coolant. You'll overheat the engine if you do that, and you'll cause some damage. I'm like, all right, cool. So sure enough, squeezed the living shit out of the bulb, got rock hard, I went to go give it a pull, and it has some resistance. So after a couple of swears later, pulled it, it rolled over once and fired up right away. And I'm like, are you frickin' serious right now? Hit the stop button, kill switch worked, shut the system down. And I was like, oh man. So I do need to do the wiring on that trailer because I believe the left signal light failed me. Yeah, it was the left one, because after I left my buddy's house, I went to go kick on the left signal light, and my truck came back and said, trailer air, left signal light disconnected or some shit like that. Like, my truck knew there was a problem. I was like, that's kind of cool. How does my truck know how to talk to a trailer? Like, I guess it has some sort of a smart sensoring to pick up if the trailer wire is getting a short circuit or not. It was working when I left his house, so I'm thinking the wire fell out of the friggin' Marette, because I think I showed you guys that instead of soldering the connections and covering them or doing something proper, he used house wiring Marettes to attach the cables together. And from what my buddy Jean told me, the reason why he did that was they literally bought the boat and then, oh, frig's sakes, I wonder if that guy thinks his car sounds good. Literally sounds like a farting tuna can. But no, they bought the boat, threw a quick paint job on it. The one guy did the wiring while the other guy went and got the trailer license in his name. And then once all was said and done, they rushed home, threw it in the water, and went fishing. Like, they were so stoked to have their own boat that it was a Mickey Mouse job. Oh, we'll fix it later. Well, you know what happens when you say you'll fix it later, right? Like, you do a Mickey Mouse job and it works, then you just like, it's good enough. We'll fix it later, and you just forget about it. Why? Because it's doing the job. Well, I like to have things working proper, so I'm gonna get the wiring all sorted and get it up and running, and then figure out how to back up a trailer. I figure if I go slow, I can't go wrong. Just don't try and go fast, and don't let other people at the ramp honking at me stress me out. If they do that, they probably will do that. Some people are just dicks. Yeah, elections haven't happened yet. It's currently Thursday, so we got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday we find out who's in charge of Canada. I am so freaking nervous about that, boys. So freaking nervous. I do not want Mark Carney to win, because he'll sell us out to Europe, he'll sell us out to the US, he'll wreck this country. He will destroy this place so bad. He's already talking about a new $2 billion deficit that he's going to be putting us in. Like, holy crap, but we should be balancing the books, not adding more to it. Stop. Like, he's the reason why inflation in England went nuts, because of all the money he was printing. He loves to spend. So I'm hoping that Canada wakes up and votes for a change and not for the same damn thing that put us in the hole that we're in now. This is the reason why people like Trump can make fun of Canada, because we're such an easy frickin' target. Here's hoping. Otherwise, I might have to look into what it takes to become a U.S. citizen and flee Canada. Any of my American viewers want a roommate? I don't fart as bad as I used to, as long as I don't get into your carbohydrates. But yeah, we'll go put in this shift at martial arts. Then once this is all said and done, we'll take a rip down to the point, see what the frick is going on down there, and then we'll head over to the post office. Hopefully the post office, I checked the tracking on it. Item is being returned to depot. Well, for pickup, like it's being returned to the Rexall depot for pickup. Okay, great. That means it was in the truck and the guy was just lazy. Like I said, if you don't want to do your job and take pride in your work and you want to be lazy, well, just automate it. That's what's going to happen. I'm kind of against that mentality, but at the same time, I'm kind of for it because I'm sick of people wanting more but do less, you know? They don't try. Earn your wages. Don't expect things to be handed out to you. That's how life is. Anyway, guys, I'll talk to you after martial arts. Until then, peace out. Alrighty guys, we are done with training. Now we can head down and go and see what the hell is going on with the point. From what Buddy said, it's a plowed field now, like wide open. Then we can head to the post office and see if they'll relinquish my package. I think I can get out this way. Well, side note, this is the last time I'll be coming down here to go to martial arts, because as of Tuesday, martial arts takes place at the new location. So that is frickin' awesome. But yeah, Jeremy came down from Sudbury. He had a whole bunch of combos to show us. He was getting so into it. Time flew. 7 o'clock, it was time to shut down. He still had 3 more things he wanted to show us. And it's like, bro, freak's sakes, what is it? Every time I have plans, the martial arts never ends. Whenever I don't have plans, the martial arts is like, yeah, I don't know, it's weird. But at least now, going forward, I don't have to drive halfway across town. I get to stay in my neck of the woods to go. So that's a little nicer. A couple of the guys won't have to, like it sucks for Liam because he literally lives around the corner from Coach. So he just walks over, but now he's gonna have to find a way to get to the club. One nice thing about tonight is I finally got to use my MMA gloves again. Normally Coach wants us using the 16-ounce boxing gloves for Panantukan, and he doesn't want us using the MMA mitts. But because of the technique that we were doing, it involved grappling and striking, the MMA mitts came up clutch. Couldn't really do them with the boxing gloves because you can't separate your fingers from your thumb with the boxing gloves. I didn't realize it, but I thought it was just my RDXs that were like that, but they're all stitched together. My RDXs are stitched together. Coach is, he's got some good ones from a good reputable company. It's all stitched together. All right, let's see if we can spot it from the road. I'm gonna park at that school that I normally park at. And then if we have to, we'll cross the street. But if I don't see anything out of the ordinary, then bro might be just talking out his ass. Then again, he could live down here and maybe he's not talking out his ass. No way. Guys, look. Yeah, it's zoned. It's off limits. We can't fish there anymore. Son of a bitch. I'm not even gonna bother getting out. Like, there's no point in me bothering to get out because it's completely off limits. What the shit happened to the point? All right. Well, yeah, there's no point in me stopping and getting out and investigating. The point is gone. I'm gonna have to do some research and figure out who the hell bought Cherry Point. So I know it belonged to, what the frick is his name? Vic Fideli. Vic Fideli owned that property. Here, we'll get another shot of it from this side. Yeah, Vic Fideli owned this property and he wasn't doing anything with it. And it is completely cleared out. Like, all the trees are gone. I can't tell if they took the structure out of the lake. Wow, that's zoned for buildings. That is completely zoned for buildings now. And that's what's going in there. Brand new construction. That's freaking brutal. Kind of heartbreaking, to be honest. But, you know, I get it. I 1000% get it. They did kind of like if they did anything to the structure, like you remember there was that cement wall area in there with all the ferns and all that. I never like going near that cement wall for one reason. I don't like snakes. And if you go there during the spring, all the water snakes are in there breeding. And even though they're too busy plowing each other, it's still a sight that when I see that many snakes together, I get the EBGBs like hardcore. I'm not a fan of nope ropes, never have been. I've gotten better over my life. There was a beach party I went to with Jocelyn and Amy Lee, and there was a reptile handler there, and he had I think he said it was an 8-foot ball python. He had it on a table, just laying there, and you can go over and touch it, over and give him pets and stuff. And I actually was brave enough to face my fear and go over and touch it. And it was not what I was expecting. Like, you see a snake, you think, oh God, look how shiny it is. It's gonna be slimy like a fish. Like, fish are slimy, hard to hold on to. You really gotta get a good grip. If your hands are wet, it's a little better, but if your hands are dry and you're grabbing a wet fish, good freaking luck. If it decides to do flippy floppy flounder, you're dropping it. But if your hands are wet, I find it's easier to hold on to it. Don't know why, but there's probably some physics behind that. Anyway, seeing a snake, I thought it's gonna be slimy. Honestly, it felt like bumpy leather, like scaly leather. It didn't feel how it looked. It's just their scales are so polished that they reflect light, making them look slimy. But snakes are not slimy. Maybe the ones in the water are, like the northern water snakes. And that's what we have up here, is northern water snakes. They're not venomous. We don't have any venomous snakes in town yet. Not to say we won't in the future, with the way the climate's shifting and, you know, the winters are getting warmer and all that. Who knows? The Massasauga rattler could relocate a bit further north and end up in town, which sucks because you can't kill those. They're endangered. It's against the law to kill the Massasauga rattler. All right, are we taking bets that the post office will have my shit? This guy on the bike is just like not enjoying life, being stuck behind somebody doing 40. I wonder how comfortable. Anybody drive a bike like that? One of those like hog styles where your feet are sticking out to the side like that? Is it comfortable? I always wonder that. Like, his legs are probably the furthest thing out on that bike right now. I guess the wind would blow up your pant legs and keep your crotch cool, so that's probably awesome. Built-in crotch cooler. MC Hammer Pants motorcycle. But it's funny though, like after physically touching a snake and realizing how they felt, my fear of snakes, like I still won't go out of my way to pick them up, but I'm not as stun-locked as I used to be when I saw a snake. Like, there's a video on my channel where there was a snake on the sidewalk and I was about ready to call in sick to work because I didn't want to walk by it. And it's a garter snake. They're useless. They can't do anything. But now I see snakes and it's like, yeah, they startle me at first because I don't know if it's a stick or a snake because the garters around here are about the diameter of a stick and they don't really move around that much. They're just kind of there. So it startles me at first, but then I'm just like, oh, whatever. It can't hurt me, so just do my own thing and it's not going to come near me. Once it realizes I'm there, it's probably either going to A, stay still so I don't see it, or B, it's going to get the frig out of there so that I don't kill it, because garter snakes know that they're more of a prey than a predator. Christ, the ravens around my house pick up the garter snakes. Saw one flying the other day with had to be maybe a foot long, like just a little guy. Had him in his talons, taking him for a ride. So, but I won't go out of my way like the kids and even my buddy Jean, that he sees a snake and he's got to go pick it up and mess with it. It's like, I won't go out of my way to do that. But if one got in my house, I'd probably be able to grab it and take it outside. It freaked me out at first, and I would make sure to keep that business end under control, even though if it bites you, it can't really hurt you. They don't have teeth, but they do have teeth. From what I've been told, they have teeth like on a bass. It's like sandpaper, and they use it so that when they eat small creatures, they can gyrate their jaw to pull the thing back into their throat and swallow it. But yeah, I'm not a fan of nope ropes. I don't understand how people have them as pets. I don't really get that. But then again, some people don't understand how people have fish as pets. when you can't really take your fish for a walk or do any, like, pet them or anything. They just kind of sit in a tank all day and eat flake and swim around looking at the same damn tree over and over and over again. Friggin' 16 degrees. Beauty. So I'm hoping they give me my parts tonight, and that way there I can get my computer set up and test it tomorrow and see if it's gonna cook, because I want to rebuild it, and I want to build it this time with the AMD RX 9070. I actually put that video card to use. I bought it for this reason. I want to have it for this reason. But I have noticed that the CPU is cooking and undervolting itself in the Acer 9000. Like, it's funny, playing Rust, I'll start off, I'll get like 90, 98 FPS with the RTX 4060. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting 60 FPS, and I'm getting 58 FPS, and I'm getting 50 FPS. Like, literally halves the FPS. And then I check the hardware monitor, and it's literally because the processor is undervolting to save itself because it is cooking. So, all right, let's take bets. Do I get my shit, or am I waiting until like tomorrow, coming on my lunch to pick it up? Stay tuned and find out. You know what's funny? I was wondering why Coach was looking at me weird when I went in to class today. And the pretty girl behind the counter at Canada Post was looking at me weird and looking all around me, and I couldn't figure out why. And I just realized why. Guys, I have a DJI mic transmitter too on my chest with a great big puffy gray cotton ball on top. I totally look like I'm on one of those frickin' reality TV shows. Like, I forgot I had this thing on me, and like Coach even was looking around weird, and I'm like, what? And he goes, nothing. And I'm like, okay. Like, okay. I forgot it was on my jacket. Normally I take it off before I go into like anywhere, but I guess I forgot. But I guess, I mean, I actually did really forget. Anyway, back to the betting. Who bet Canada Post to let me get it tonight, and who bet they wouldn't? Leave a comment down below. And you know what? I'm not even going to tell you in this video. I'm going to tell you in tomorrow's video. Because tomorrow's video, we're either cracking into some packages and examining products, or we're waiting till lunchtime and we're heading to right back where we just came from, the old Rexall, to get the packages. One of the two things will be happening. Oh, yeah, last time going to the garage. Now we're actually gonna have, like Coach was saying, he's like, you see how wide this room is? I'm like, yeah, and he goes, okay. The new place, like, there's 15 of those clipboards in there. It's like 3 you know those puzzle board things you buy at Walmart? I got one at home. I use it as a kneeling pad. The garage is 3 of those wide by about maybe 6. There's 15, there's 15 of them in. So it's 5 long, 3 wide, and we got 6 people in there swinging sticks. So you got to keep your form tight in there. You can't be swinging wildly like a maniac. You'll smoke somebody who you're not even doing a Sinawali with. And that's not the drill. So the new place, he had to buy 45 mats for. It is apparently 1.5 size width of the garage we train out of, which is awesome. And it's pretty much 2.5 times the length. And there's a basement. Not sure what we're gonna do with the basement or what his plans are with the basement, but there's a basement. So that's pretty cool. And there's a locker room in the back and a proper bathroom. And like right now, if we have to go use the washroom, we got to go into Coach's house and go downstairs, and hopefully none of his kids are in there taking dumps. Where this place here, it's like an actual public washroom. Pretty dope. Stop signs aren't you follow on a pedal bike, eh? No. No traffic violations when you're on a pedal bike. There's none. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead and pull right through, man. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to next Tuesday, but I got to remember not to drive down to Lakeshore area and just go to the new zone. Well, that guy's already got his boat out. But yeah, I noticed today when I was aiming down at the, I don't know if the camera picked it up. It might have. I'll have to check the footage, but there's still ice on the lakes. I was going to take you guys down to Cherry Point too, like a month ago, like on my birthday. I was thinking about it, but I had that martial arts convention at Best Western. But I was thinking about taking you guys down there to go and investigate, but I did it the one year and it was kind of fun. But Cherry Point is gone. Memories. Hey, frig. Living up here, there's lakes everywhere. Some are a bitch to get to, some are easy to get to. A lot of them you got to burn gasoline to get to them. There's a bit of driving. Like a good lake is that Mink Lake. I got to figure out where it is. I could hot drop the kayak and go fishing there. And it is such an unused lake, but the fish are so not stressed. I went there with Rex and Ryan, and it was literally like we limited out on bass within minutes because Ryan wanted to keep them to eat. I'm not a fan of eating bass. I will do it, but I'd prefer not to. I prefer walleye for that. I just like sports catching bass because they put up such a good fight. It's kind of fun. But yippers. Anyway, I think I need a shower. So yeah, I just looked online to see if there's any information about about fishing and about Cherry Point, and they're talking about the Point, Lakeshore Drive, North Bay, Ontario. And then if I look at the Point, it shows the Point. So literally, guys, there's that school that I always park at. All right, I usually park along there and then walk across and walk through the trail and then come down here. And I'm down here fishing, okay? Further up here, this is Sunset Park. When I used to go ice fishing, I would park in this lot, walk down here, come on the lake, and then I would end up way the frick out here somewhere, and I'd be fishing. All that had to be walked. But literally, this is the Point. And you can see all this wooded in area. Now, last year, I actually went down there off camera with the Ryobi brush cutter, and I cut the path out to walk out because it was all grown in. And it's Fideli who owned the land, but he never did anything with it. So I brush cut a trail all the way to the wall part until it comes into beach sand so that it was easy for me to traverse onto the property and go fishing, and other people could use it too, because the more foot traffic, the less it needs to be maintained. It just all gets packed down to nothing. This year I won't have to do that because it looks like they sold it, it's being zoned, and something is going in there. And God, I hope it's not some derelict housing, like a methadone clinic or something, right beside the freaking school here. Like, let's put an addiction center beside a public school. That's beautiful. Like that's a great idea. So, but yeah, I can't find anything about what happened to the Point. I wonder if there's anybody at City Hall I could call. Not right now because they're closed. They work the same hours I do. But I wonder if there's anybody at City Hall I could contact and ask what's happening with the Point, and are we still allowed to go there to fish, or is that all private property now? Because whatever's going in there is going to have an amazing beach. They'll have to clean all the beer bottles and meth needles off of it, but once that's done, they're gonna have an amazing beach. It'd be good to know, because it's kind of heartbreaking, because I used to love going fishing there. I met some pretty cool people there, and that spot is gone. That spot is gone. Some bitch pile of monkey nuts. Just messaged the guys that I normally go fishing with down at the Point, letting them know. I'm like, oh, so I see it got zoned. I guess some overpriced condos are going in there. But yeah, once I find out what's happening down there, I'll let you guys know in case you're interested. Who knows? Maybe I sparked an interest in people outside of the community about what's going on in the community. So when I find out, I'll let you know. What'd they say? As far as we are aware, just removing the bush to stop homeless people from camping there, but no word 100%. Oh, is that what was going on? That was a problem. There were a lot of, like when I was saying about they're gonna have an amazing beach once they remove all the hypodermic needles, I wasn't kidding. There was a lot of homeless people there, and there was a lot of drug abuse going on at that location as well, and a lot of drug abuse paraphernalia left behind. It was a bit of a problem. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. They did have it all fenced off, but I didn't see any construction vehicles there, so I don't know what's going on. That's awesome. We are full sending it, opener there. Don't care if I gotta bring my helmet and vest for work to sneak in. Oh, frig's sakes. My buddy does construction, so he'll go play constructioneer just to sneak in so he can send it at the Point. It's a great fishing spot, minus all the snags, but an amazing fishing spot. it's quiet, it's isolated. But now it's really visible from the road because all the trees are gone and it kind of takes away the secrecy of it. But it's still pretty dope. Anyway, guys, I'm going to shut her down here. So I'll keep you guys updated on what's going on, and I'll let you know as things develop. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, click that like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. And until next time, guys, live it to win it, and peace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.